Was Jesus more than just a prophet? Was he a prophet? Welcome to Bible Study Hub. I'm Ann Wiggins. So glad to have you with us. If you happen to be watching on the day that this is going live, happy Valentine's Day, February 14th, 2025. We are in John chapter 9, and we are reading verses 13 to 17 yesterday and today. And then we'll pick up in verses 18 and forward starting this coming Monday. So, reading from the Legacy Standard Bible, join me for verses 13 to 17. Fascinating passage about Jesus and the man who was born blind being healed. And now that man is being interrogated by the religious leaders called the Pharisees. So here we go. It says, they brought to the Pharisees the man who was formerly blind. Now it was a Sabbath on the day that Jesus made the clay and opened his eyes. So the Pharisees were also asking him again how he received his sight. And he said to them, he applied clay to my eyes, and I washed, and I see. So then some of the Pharisees were saying, this man is not from God, because he does not keep the Sabbath. But others were saying, how can a sinful man do such signs? And there was a division among them. Therefore they said to the blind man again, what do you say about him since he opened your eyes? And he said, he is a prophet. Well, yesterday we talked about how the Pharisees have this cognitive dissonance spiritually going on in their minds. Here's a man who violated their Sabbath laws, so surely he can't be who he says he is, which is God incarnate. Surely he can't be that, and yet he's doing things only God can do, and they can't wrap their mind around, like, how do we resolve this problem? So they've got a number of options that they're trying here. But they finally bring the man to them because in addition to the cognitive dissonance, they have another major problem. And that is that in the book of Isaiah, chapters 29, 35, and 42, all of them talk about the coming anointed one, the Messiah to come, opening the eyes of the blind. And for sure, this has spiritual implications, but there was also an expectation that the Messiah would literally cause blind eyes to see. So Jesus is fulfilling all the requirements and the expectations of the coming one, the anointed one, the Messiah, the Son of God. So they've got a bad problem. He just can't be. He violates their Sabbath. He tells them that they're sinners. I mean, he just can't be the one, right? So this is what they're wrestling with, and this is what they're trying to come to terms with, and they can't figure it out. So they bring the guy in. Now, remember, these are powerful people. They're the religious leaders. They are under the rule of Rome, so they don't have total control over these people's lives, but they have enough control. Rome gives them a lot of leeway. They can't stone people to death and things like that, but they have a lot that they can do to make your life a living hell. And they bring this man who was formerly blind in. Remember, the guy's never met Jesus. He's never seen Jesus. He only felt his hands and heard his voice. That's it. He doesn't know where he is now. They haul him in before these powerful people, and they demand that he answer their question. And it's a leading question. You know, who is this guy, and how did you get healed? And he just keeps saying the same thing over and over. Like, all I can do is tell you what happened to me. He made clay, he put it on my eyes, I washed it off, and now I can see. And they're like, well, who is this? Who do you think he is? And he says, he is a prophet. Now, the question is, was he right or wrong, or somewhere in between? Was Jesus a prophet or not? What do you think? Yes, he was a prophet. A prophet is one who speaks forth the words of God. That's exactly what Jesus did. But there are many people who stop with that. Jesus was a prophet, or Jesus was a teacher, and they miss the rest of it because he wasn't just a prophet. He was obviously the Son of God, the anointed one, the Messiah, and the coming King in our world. This man did not know all of that yet. And here's the beautiful thing. He responded positively to the light, literally and figuratively, the light that Jesus had given him. He took what he had and he pursued more. And the lesson for you and me, and what I want you to take through your weekend with you, is if God exposes anything with his light in your life, don't harden your heart toward that. Embrace it. Um, if it's something that you see in his word that convicts you, lean into that. Don't push it away. If you're trying to figure out who Jesus is and you're not even sure about this whole God thing, and somehow, some way you're watching my channel, I don't take that lightly. That I believe is God opening up his word and reaching out to you. Lean into that. Don't back away from it. When you respond positively to the light that God gives you, he will give you more light. When you shut him out and you say, I don't want the light, don't show me the light, I don't want anything to do with it, then sometimes he will back that off and you may not get any more light. This blind man responds perfectly with the information that he has. Next week, we're going to find out that because he did this, Jesus actually finds him and he gives him more light. And we'll see what this man does with the additional information that Jesus gives him. Will he embrace it or will he say, that's too much, I don't want it? You have to wait and find out. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next Monday on Bible Study Hub. See you.